We get underway today behind closed doors as the teams prepare for an endurance test like no other, the Mobil 1 12 Hours of Sebring. For the last 64 years, Sebring has played host to one of America's most grueling sports car races. The former World War II bomber base puts its competitors through a meat grinder of surface changes. Preparation for this encounter is vital, starting with a healthy body.
We do a lot of training, but you know when these big races are coming up. So you sometimes put a little bit extra in, knowing that we're coming to Sebring, knowing that it's going to be hot in the car.
It's the key of success is to be fit in the car because it's a long race, it's 12 hours, it's really intense, the track is really bumpy, really difficult physically, especially in GT car. Every time when we finish the stint, we debrief quickly with the engineer and we go to the physio directly to help to feel better and also to relax the muscles.
The Tequila Patron team have come flying out of the gates this year, winning the Rolex 24 at Daytona in their ESM Honda P2 car. Every second counts for these guys, so Scott Sharp and the team are constantly perfecting the finer details like driver changes.
It's all the little things. The amount of preparation that goes into getting a car ready for this race, as an example, is just, I don't think you can put into hours, the hundreds of hours. And obviously one of the big things is pit stops. I mean, you sit there working on a guy and gaining a half a tenth, maybe make the pass, and you can stumble on a driver change and lose 15 to 20 seconds. And you just worked your tail off for tenths.
It's crucial. If we lose 10 seconds on a driver change, you know how hard that is to make it up on the track. All we're trying to do is beat fuel and tires, and if we do that, everything's good. So yeah, no, we practice them all the time.
The 5 and 31 cars of Action Express put their success in recent years down to open team discussions, sharing information on both sides of the garage.
It's completely open in here, so whatever we run on the 5 car, the 31 knows, and whatever the 31 runs on their car, we know absolutely every step that they are doing.
The two engineers meet together and say, hey, look, this worked on my car, this worked on my car. We try to do separate changes, and at the end of the day, we can take 2 cars and make 2 better cars from going 2 separate directions. But that car needs to be fast, and it needs to be bulletproof for 12 hours.
When you get to this level and you're dealing with drivers of this caliber, everybody really wants the same thing, and so it's just a matter of fine-tuning it. But the spectators never see that. You know, they don't see all that work that goes on behind the scenes on that level.
Corvette's racing knowledge of Sebring is second to none, and the setup of the 2 C7Rs is made easier due to their experienced driver lineup.
Part of the biggest challenge in being successful in endurance racing is reaching a compromise. So you've got to try and find guys who are compatible both physically, in stature, and also in mindset and how they like the car set up. And we've achieved that with Jan and Antonio and Tommy and Oliver. Probably in all the time Corvette racing has been in existence, I think these 2 groups are the closest in their preferences that we've ever had.
It's always a bit of a compromise, making sure everybody's comfortable in the car, whether it's with the seating position or the belts, or whether it's the the way that the car is performing on track and the way that it's handling. There's a whole group of people that you have to work with and coordinate with to make sure that everybody's on the same page and we're all going in the same direction with it.
One car takes on maybe just dampers, and one car tries different aero sweeps and things like that. So we try to basically take advantage of having 2 cars and meld all that information together and make the best package. Because now we're here in race week and every lap counts in practice to get as much information as we can to help the engineers and help us drivers get the best car that we can. On the surface, the racing seems fairly simple. You go out there, you go as fast as you can, and you win the race. But when you break it down, you look at all the bits and pieces that make that happen. It's a lot of hard work learning about your own car and learning about your competitors.
We'll be back for race day later in the show, but right now we're on the grid in California for the latest stock car action. We rejoin the race teams in Florida at the 64th edition of the Mobil 1 12 Hours of Sebring. Fans, officials, teams and drivers were all in final preparation for the 12-hour battle ahead.
Hello everybody, welcome to Sebring. It looks like another classic racing prospect. 4 classes, 49 cars, the 2 P2 Hondas on the front row. Keep an eye out for those Action Express DPs.
We're in a pretty good spot. You know, we started P2 at Daytona and won, so we're going to start P2 here. Hopefully we get the same outcome.
The car is very competitive on the long run. I think it's very important here in Sebring. It's really good over the bumps. I think the Action Express, both cars are very strong, and they'll have a great shot of winning the race once again.
An exciting GTLM qualifying had seen Bill Auberlen put his BMW top of the class.
Mission 1 accomplished on the pole. I ran a practice before qualifying. I was quickest. Then I got the pole. So it's been a clean on the front. Great experience so far.
It's super close in our class. It's only 7/10 from first to last, so it's going to be a hard fight all race.
The most important is to be there at the end, and especially with the weather, it's not sure, so we have to get ready for every possibility.
There's the green flag. We're racing at Sebring. The Michael Shank Ligier, the 60 car, into the lead ahead of the Honda. And here comes Dean Cameron in the 31 Corvette. In GTLM, it's BMW first and second. The rest of the field so close behind. Street fighting from the street-based cars. Keep an eye on this one.
After just 2 hours of racing, the heavens opened at Sebring, delivering an almighty storm.
Anyone on slick tyres now is really going to struggle. Oh, Tommy Milner just misses a spinning Lamborghini. Lightning in the area, and IMSA has red flagged this for the safety of the marshals, the fans and the drivers.
It was the right call to stop it, you know. We've got a lot of concrete around here, and it becomes like an ice skating rink for us. We'll let it dry out a little bit just to get rid of the standing water, and then we're fine to drive again.
They've just given us the call that they'll try to restart the race in an hour, try and sort of dry the track a little bit now. I'll get back in the car once we go green again, and then I think we'll pit and change drivers, because at that point I've been in the car for about 3 hours.
After 2 hours under red flag conditions, racing finally started again on a soaked track. Christian Fittipaldi in the 5 car led at the restart, but was soon being chased down by the ESM Honda. In GTLM, disaster struck for Kevin Estra and Jan Magnussen as they battled for the class lead.
Magnussen's got to run round the outside of the Audi. Oh, the Porsche's on the inside. They've hit. They're going to the wall. That's a big hit.
Both drivers okay, but out of contention. A quick fix did see the number 3 Corvette get back out, but it was now down to the 4 car to go for the class win.
Tommy's been driving brilliantly the whole race. I mean, he's going to drive about 5 hours, 5 and a bit hours actually of the total 12. It's one of the worst times for a co-driver just to be sitting here, you know, watching the laps tick by and just keeping your fingers crossed and just hoping that everything just works out for you.
With 15 minutes to go, Action Express led overall, but Durrani's ESM Honda was right on their tail.
Extraordinary pass from Durrani down the inside of turn 7.
This kid is unbelievable. I don't want to jinx anything, but he's unbelievable.
Pipo Durrani takes the victory at Sebring in the Ligier Honda. What a victory, what a drive. Tommy Milner has been at the top of his form today. It's another victory for the 4 car. That's back-to-back 36 hours in Florida for the number 4 Corvette and Scott Sharp's ESM Honda.
Just an amazing day for us, up and down so many ways. Great strategy call by Philippe and Matthew, and I think all of us at the end, we didn't think we had that speed, and Pipo showed we did.
Just when you think you've seen some of the most spectacular racing in your lifetime, this guy comes around and does it just again.
I felt like no one could touch me. I mean, this Corvette was the best race car I've ever had in my life, by far.
Next time, we preview the 2016 World Endurance Championship